Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this really painful discussion about the fact that young people are getting into Yahoo Yahoo.
There's sort of like the elephant in the room in terms of politicians. I remember when I was just finishing, before I got married, I was talking to a group of people, and there were two guys that were saying that their ambition is to become politicians, and because it's very profitable. Yes, it was the profitable business. You know, you don't have money, and then you become a politician, and in 4 years, you buy a car, you buy a house, you travel abroad, you buy a house abroad. Like, your life can literally change with politics. And people get away with it, which is the real problem. People will do crime. Crime happens everywhere in the world. Even in China that they even kill corrupt people. Crime still happens there. What reduces the level and volume of crime is the level of justice, the strength of the justice system to wield that sword and deal with crime immediately. Those are the issues. Is the fact that when criminality happens, people can be in court for the next 10 years. They can be in court for the next 5 years.
Punitive measures.
There are no strong enough punitive measures to reduce how attractive crime is. And that is one of the things we need to improve upon here.
Okay, let me take Ade. Ade, are you there? Ade, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yes, this is very interesting, you know. What I want to say in a nutshell is that the environment in my country, Nigeria, encourage all sorts of things. I was in Nigeria late last year. I won't mention the place. So I stay in one hotel, and in that hotel, come and see young boy, maybe 18, 19. They took the presidential suit, which is 700,000 naira a night. Young boy, and they have bands outside.
Yes.
And so many other, nobody's asking questions. So the environment, and before I came to Nigeria, I want to collect 10,000 pounds. I went to my bank. They said I should book it. I have to book that I want to collect 10,000 pounds. So they asked me to come after 5 days. Why? Because they want to make inquiry. Somebody wants to collect 10,000 pounds. They will check everything to make sure it's not money laundering. So I came after 5 days, and they gave me my 10,000 pounds. But in Nigeria, you don't walk in and collect anything you want to collect. No, nobody is asking any question. So this is our problem, the environment. Poverty is a disease, I know that. But we shouldn't go by all means. Why a mother will encourage his own son to kill another son for ritual? We read this case here, our heart bleeds.
Let me take...
It's a serious...
Thank you very much, sir. There was a message that came in. Okay. It says that parents were discovered to even be going on mountaintop to pray for success of their criminal Yahoo children, which is so unfortunate. The solution is to make Yahoo Plus and Yahoo crimes criminal offenses. If not, they will kill every one of us, which I think is really that last sentence. Because right now, initially it was go computer, scam white person and get the money. But now they're going into rituals. They're taking their brothers, sisters. They'll take me. They'll take you. They start taking everybody. Their hands. So all of us, we all need to raise an alarm because we need to really make this front burner.
Poverty is not a crime, not a sin. It's a situation. This God punish poverty is a crime, is a sin. It's a situation. You do something right, you get out of it. You go to school, you get a legitimate job, you start a business, you earn, you sell something, you get out of it. In a situation, if a person lives in a room that they can afford, are they still in poverty just because they don't live in a mansion? Is the person living in a mansion sleeping in more than a room in that mansion? Why did we materialize everything? Yeah. This statement is why we're here. Now, we have several statements we must correct. We've just started with poverty is a crime or a sin. We must also start with this popular one, he who is without sin. When God used it in the Bible, that's not how he used it. Now we use it to excuse and overlook wrongdoings.
Yes.
We need to bring back the meaning, the true honest meaning of certain things. We've abused everything.
Absolutely. Oh, someone wants to say that. Let me take this call. Good morning. You have a few messages for us?
Yes, I have some tweets here. So we have Engineer Tolek says, we celebrate nonsense in Niger. What is the meaning of Zazu? Okay. All these statements encourage teenagers to learn this game. Parenting is the major problem. I heard a parent telling a child after he failed was that he should go and learn work like his friends. Government and society is not really helpful concerning this Yahoo Yahoo matter. Do you believe that somebody representing a constituency in Abuja from Ogun State was into this game? Okay, so I think there's a new thing in town. That people, because I've been hearing these words, but I did not understand what is this Zazu.
I think it's music. Let me take this call from. Good morning. I think it's Kunle from Majota.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kunle. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Morayo, the truth must be said. See, when you go to Ilejo, I mean, this bar, club, whatever, you will see all these Yahoo. They are the ones that spend, they buy NSC 100,000, 80,000. You can't see salary another than 300,000 buying NSC 100,000 or 80,000. And you see all these ladies, they go after those guys. That is why they keep on using them for money rituals. If you ask those ladies, what does your guy do for a living? They will say it's a G guy. It's a G guy. To package the guy. They will not say the Yahoo guy. They will say it's a G guy. At the end of the day, when they go broke, they use the lady for rituals. They use the lady for money rituals. You see them going around with all these beautiful ladies. Before, because when they they collect their money, they can afford to give the lady 500,000, 300,000. With salary that is any 300,000 that maybe is going to stay for 1 year before you can give a lady 500,000. But they when they collect their money in millions, how much is 500,000? You call, come, Jennifer, take 500,000. The lady will be going up and down to say, oh, my guy is a G guy. And, you know, they want to sit in front of the guy's car.
All right, thank you, Kunle. You see, I want to go back to this issue of music because I don't want to let us go that easy. You know, celebrities, music, they are huge influences on young people. The lifestyle of celebrities, the lifestyle of musicians. Let us Davido, they're all out there. They're all there at clubs, smoking weed, drinking. It's the truth. Unless we don't want to say it. We see them, but we turn the other cheek. We turn the other way. We let them do the part. Maybe it's Davido. He's making money. 30 billion in the bank. Yes, he's making money.
Another area we can look into is somebody is saying that Ogun State's governor's aide was caught by FBI. It shows that even DSS cannot find out how politicians make and made their wealth. Let us go to politicians too. There's a report that that was supposed to discuss. I think it was yesterday about the fact that a lot of people are using politics to launder money, and that many money spent in politics, you cannot, if you dig, you will not want to know how the money was made. This Ogun State
let me even support it. This one is a fact. Wadume, the kidnapper kingpin, whose activities led to the death of the gallant police officers, the few ones that will be daring to even fight this kind of criminality, had an history, followed in an article, with politicians sponsoring their campaigns. Till tomorrow, have we heard prosecution, conviction? No. And those 3 police officers just died for this nation for nothing. The best thing the nation can do for them is have Wadume's hang him. Justice. Hang him, prosecute him. If you cannot, take him through, make it a public prosecution, put him up and make the consequence out there. For states that have already passed death.
I come to Mariam. Let me take Muiwa. He's been holding for him. Muiwa, are you there?
Hello, Morayo.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
All right, thank you very much. I think also, you guys are discussing a wonderful topic. One of the issues we have is that in Nigeria, the system we have in Nigeria encourages things like this. For example, I'm a young man, I'm in my 40s, I should be able to afford a house of my own. But then I go to someone and I say I should bring 100 million to buy a house. Then I should pay in 12 months. I know people who are earning 1 million, 2 million per month who can afford to buy a house. Because we've created a society whereby we don't have mortgage system. We've created a society whereby you need to be mega rich to be able to afford the basic things in life. In UK, people buy iPhone 13 and they pay over 3 years. They have contracts. But here, you have to brag. You buy an iPhone for 1 million, and you're happy that, oh, I bought an iPhone, I'm a rich person. Those things are common things over there. So we need to demystify wealth. We need to create a society whereby it is okay to enjoy basic things of life.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, to enjoy basic things of life, you need to be overly comfortable. to buy electricity today now, it's very expensive. To go to the market, it's expensive. So if we can create a system whereby to afford certain things is easier, people would calm down.
Thank you, Moiwa. Yes, Mariam.
Okay, yeah, so one thing I also, that crime does, this fraud does, is that it sort of creates like a parallel economy. People who are able to buy tables of 100 million or tens of millions of naira that do not earn that money make it seem like, oh, we have that sort of money. But the truth is that it's not the real money, it's not the real economy. So we're here building dreams, building a country on fake money, on stolen money. So that's why a young man will want to go and buy a house. But because they've been approached by all these 100 million guys that come up with the money out of the blue, people will overprice their properties because they feel that that money is there. But the real thing is that most Nigerians cannot afford that. Our economy does not have that money. That's on the one hand. Secondly, I think I should just clear this. So when I was talking about Tope being a motivational speaker, she used to encourage me to listen to these people. And I would say to her, I did not find those people relatable because I prefer to see people doing work. Not that Tope was one of those people, just to put that out there. Yes. Yes. So you know, you were talking about musicians, that we should stay there and not let it go. So there's another thing where I feel a lot of people do not understand that the music and the video that the musicians put out is also like a fantasy. It's a TV show. It's entertainment. It's not real life. So a lot of us, so a lot of us, you know, until we grew up, before we understood, even on TV, some of the programs, you know, you hear our children when they are talking about these programs, they talk about it as if it's real life. You have to say, this is Hollywood. This is not real. Yes. So if the musician puts it, some of them will tell you they would borrow to do this, get a car that is not theirs, shoot a movie in the house that is not theirs, put all these things together to give you an idea or a sense of that is what reality is. But the truth is when you see them regular, sometimes we see some of these celebrities, when I now see them one-on-one, when they come here, I'm like, okay, because that is a persona, that is entertainment, and there's real life with real struggles and every day, and people need to see that.
Let me take this call from Isaac and I'll come to you, Nima. Isaac, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, quickly. My view towards this is, I believe if government can have a database for what everybody does in this country, like the work we do, there's a database for it. You want to buy a house, they log into your database to get what you do before you could afford a house of 100 million. You want to buy a car, there is a database for it. Before you be allowed to buy a car of 200 million. If you are going to buy a car, there should be a record that correlates with the kind of car you want to buy. And also, someone has spoken about flaunting what you have. You don't need to do that because so many young ones out there are looking at those things you are flaunting, whereby they will be tempted to go for it. So if you have database, I believe that will solve part of the problem, if not all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, what Mariam said reminded me of something. Like, I wanted to come to you, Nima. There's something.
So she was talking about, you know, the music. It takes a very, very brilliant mind, intelligent person to be able to tell the difference. To be able to say, okay, this is all just fiction. Let me just, let me just enjoy the watching and move to my reality. But if a lot of people think, oh, that is the reality, this prosperity shown in the videos is the way. If you have not done that, that's the definition of success. When you ask a lot of people the definition of success, it's only adults or matured minds that will tell you, it's about me failing and getting back up. A lot of people will say it's about the money, the figures, the bank accounts, the house, the lavishness, the materialism. That's what they call it. And it's promoted, sorry, Morayo, by the music. Our musicians celebrate these guys. Not only did they churn out the lyrics, they celebrate them, they call out their names, they come at their events. I saw a video of a musician's a party, and it was in words of notes that they were spraying. Is that love? If I intend to spray you 2 million, I don't have to flaunt it. I can transfer it to your account, support your event, and respectfully come and eat and go. We used to have the Yes, but it was not these words of not slapping and insulting
or shooting the gun.
Or shooting it with the gun. That is, of course, arrogance. That's,
but you know, it's always been the Fuji artists.
That's another level of high.
There are many people that the Fuji artists.
You know, when things break down between some of these, we now hear. So we now hear they actually borrow each other this money. You take this money out, pretend that I gave it to you, pretend that you just paid me this amount.
Let me take Endurance.
So we now see, even on Instagram, it's unreal. It's
Endurance, are you there?
Audio.
Yes, I'm with you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, first caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, concerning the trend now in town, you see, parents have a lot to do. Yes. Let me tell you my own personal case. When I graduated from school 2015, I went to Asaba. That's one of the headquarters in Delta State. So I went to Asaba. I met some guys. So when I get to home, when I went home after Warri, my parents told me that they will not collect any money from me, if it's Yahoo money or any other thing. So that thing is sent into my head. So parents go to play. So they are making legit money. I'm sending them 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. So they are very happy with it. So the parents need to they have say in this matter, and to the government needs to pass so many laws. Let there be a punishment for any offender, even in the political realm and the social realm. There is no law. Thank you very much.
You know, thank you very much, Mr. Nigerians. I always say this, and I'm still going to find a proper way to couch it so that the message can really sink in. I always say that the middle class, or those of us who have traveled abroad, have some exposure, we are the number one problem of this country. Because we bring in stuff that our economy really cannot sustain. We have, I mean, I was saying that somebody gave us an opportunity to go to a 5-star hotel in Nigeria. And I entered the hotel, as wild as I was like, we can't afford this now. Yeah, we can't afford it. In that same stretch, somebody took me to a regular hotel, which was in VI, decent, nothing too exotic, but it was decent. Our economy can handle, now the average Nigerian, the middle class Nigerian can afford this. This is normal. I remember when I went to Kenya and Nairobi, and I was thinking, they said, oh, you're a manager, they have to give you a 4-star hotel. And I went to go to a hotel, and I thought I was going to get this really nice. They didn't have AC in the hotel room. The fresh opened the windows. No, it was a 4-star hotel. And I got to my room, and
relative to the economy.
It was relative to the economy. Nice hotel, but it wasn't over top. Same way, he told me same thing here. We buy the most exotic cars, Rolls-Royce. How do we sustain this kind of things? Like, we cannot afford it. So we bring in stuff that we know we don't have the capacity to sustain, and we create this mirage for these young kids that it is happening, the money is there, but the money is not there. Our nation cannot handle it.
No.
Stop eating bacon. It's only Ogi we can afford.
That's
the simplest way of saying it. Stop bringing in bacon because you can't afford it.
I had this conversation yesterday with someone, and I said, and the person we were watching food channel, and I was like, how do we eat this kind of fish? I said, do you understand how expensive these things? I said, I passed my boundary, went to Ibrahim Seafood. I said, when he sent me bill, I just carefully walked back and said, we will eat it in future. The reality is that it's not convenient when we live our lives thinking that what is make-believe, what is the reality. It's not. Which is why I took out time to explain the level of hard work and the fact that I'm not wealthy. I am comfortable. I want a whole lot more to be more comfortable, but I had to explain that because people would assume. We are on TV. Somebody sent me a message. I did a voice to reply. He said, because I know some of your level. That's it. Or somebody of your level will be able to help you.
Wait, guys. We need a show to explain about this our level. We need one day that we need to explain our level because people always assume that everyone that comes on this show is our friend.
Somebody of your level, you can get me a job through all the connections. I say, so you think that everybody that comes on my show, I have their number and I'll be calling them and be giving them. I was like, that's not the reality.
Let me take this from Chudi Jare. Good morning, Chudi. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, Morayo.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
It has been a long time.
Yes.
It's hard to get you on...
yes, the show has gotten more popular. So lots of people are calling in. Thank you, sir.
Yes, okay, based on the topic of today, I think parents are to be blamed. One,
Your child comes back home with something you did not buy for him or her. You kept quiet. You praise him or her, telling her that she's doing fine. Mothers have gathered to pray for their Yahoo children to be successful.
Yes.
Can't you see that the world is going wire? Things are falling apart. When a mother will be praying for a child who is doing Yahoo to succeed, things are like some things are not normal. So by the time parents start doing the right thing, look at the politicians. They gather money for themselves, for their children, for their grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. Children that are not working. See them displaying their level of arrogancy in public, showing the public that they have made. Those kind of children, do you ask people, who will they be in future? They look at the phones they handle. They cannot buy that phone, but they are having that sort of phone. These are the things that are happening in this country, and parents are keeping quiet. The government are keeping quiet. My dear, when parents start talking, things will come back to normal. Thank you.
I have this quote. I'd like to read this quote. I don't know whose quote it is, but I saw it this morning and I posted it on my story. It says, "Don't judge people by where they live. Sometimes there is more love in that little home that you will find in a mansion." Let me modify it. Let's not judge people by the enormous wealth they flaunt. The truth is that in that flaunting, there might be sorrow in it.
Ordinary people.
Yeah, you know. So the point to the young person who thinks it's all about having this big life, there's more to life than this big flash in the pan wealth.
Contentment,
because they're flash in the pans. They come and you have this nice flash and everybody's excited. After a while, you can't sustain it. What are we preaching to these young people?
Sustain it. See, this is the point. So Tope can sustain a big mansion, maybe somewhere in Lekki. But I'm happy in my 2-bedroom. Happiness is the goal. She can be happy in a mansion, but must I outdo myself?
Yes.
Thank you. Must I now kill myself, bend myself over, take away all the joy of my life just because I must match up and then be unhappy?
Exactly.
That's the goal. So, see, it's okay when you're there. Me, I always enjoy it. I just be, I'm happy already. It's fine. Can I just be fine here? Don't push me too far. And so when you start to, someone said to me, this our friendship is like you're dragging me backwards. I said, there's no point in the friendship. Because you see me, I will not run more than this space I'm doing because of you.
Wow. Yes. You know, sometimes I feel that we need to also understand that everything but, you know, it's kind. So if you, as they say, if you plant cocoyam, you get cocoyam. Plant yam, you get yam. So someone does the work of putting a lot of energy and effort to make more money. There's a principle for that, to make money, and it's okay. So do the work, the legitimate work to make more money. So let me use Tope's business as an example. She's putting in a lot of work today. She's telling you that the work she's done in 5 years would not compare to what she's done in this 1 year. And then in 10 years to come, we see her leaving the proceeds of her hard work. Then you meet Tope at that point. And all of a sudden, all you want to be is like Tope without all the work that she has put in
for the 10 years.
Yes, she can be rich and she can be happy and she can be excited. We're not saying that wealth always comes with sorrow, but if you don't work, you may be enjoying it. But if you want to be at Tope's level, then you start where Tope started.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is that can help you, you would start on a journey yourself. You cannot now compare yourself at a point A with Tope's point 10. It makes no sense.
Let me interrogate that a bit. So if Tope now gets to this destination, right?
Yes.
She's now very wealthy. She can afford the bacon.
Yes.
She can afford the salmon and all that, right? And because of that, you then import it. But the Gary, all of us here, that we're here, all of us are here. We can't afford these things. So now, is it therefore okay for Tope to be eating salmon and all that when generally we can't, our economy cannot sustain it?
Yes, it's fine.
So does she, even though she has reached here, force herself to be eating the local food just because, listen, our economy cannot handle it? Because it's what I'm trying to understand how this person is looking at Tope. Yeah, we're not seeing the struggle, but we're seeing you here, and we want to be this.
So this is where we talk about systems and government. Tope can buy her salmon and she can buy her bacon, and she will pay for it. she'll pay the country for it.
She'll
be taxed for it. So it cost her even a lot more than it would cost her if she was living abroad and buying that bacon. Right. So she will pay for that. And then you, with your 30K money, you now put all your money, put your money together just because you want to eat bacon that Tokwe can buy plus tax easily. Right. So it's okay for her to be, because she's also, not only is she eating what she has worked hard for, she's also making money for the country. Right. And that's why
these guys, a lot of guys in this side are not paying the tax.
Yes, they need to pay the tax.
Let me put another context to it. So I have spent a lot of time with my mentors my core mentors have been in this business for the past 10 years. So I want what they have. It's my vision board. Then sometimes I'll start worrying my head, and I remember myself that they've done this thing for 10 years, some have done it for 5 years. What you are seeing and admiring took them 5 years to get there. You are just 1 year. Continue the work. So we need to remind ourselves. Somebody comes to my house, my staff comes to my house and sees me eating wangaru chicken, and you say you want to eat it in your house. You have no idea. I have worked to buy that for myself. You are not there yet. I am not in the level of my mentor yet. I will get there if I continue doing the work. But I must be content to drive my fairly used car and be okay with it. I break down once in a while. And then I will walk till I get there. Not that I'll not be hungry for that life and be willing to cheat, steal, kill to get there.
Don't die trying.
Don't die trying.
Let me take this call. She goes there. Are you there? She goes here. You're live. Hello, Chigozie.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Morayo and Co.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you people for ever bringing this topic to the limelight, Yeah. This Yahoo Yahoo thing we are discussing this morning is consuming us as a nation. But my surprise is, the authorities are keeping quiet. I know EFCC are there. I went to EFCC to report some of my tenants last time. Because they will come to your house, they will pay, their mother will come and pay. Before you know it, you will not see young boys, 18, 19, So I took the first step to go and report them, and I then discovered that themselves, they are overwhelmed. Let there be a strong law compelling all landlords to report them, and whenever they are reported, that the law should be hard on them. These people are killing people every day. If you see what is happening, what we are seeing is just a little. This thing is consuming us. Yeah. Look at the whole of Magodo, Omole Fezon, Magodo Estate. They are all there. In fact, look at Sheri. That's their den. There's a hotel in Sheri. That if anyhow that doesn't post that hotel, that means they are not around. And everybody, the authorities are keeping quiet.
But he's saying that he reported to EFCC, and EFCC seemed overwhelmed.
Okay, let me just read this tweet. You guys, what do you think? He says, "Good morning. Since NSAS, this Yahoo thing has become so common. These guys go around, do whatever they like, and even flaunt their illegal wealth. I think there should be a version of EFCC that can handle ritualists and Yahoo boys. This has stopped." This is the second person
we
saying...
have laws. It's not for lack of laws. And it's the will to enforce, the will to report. It's a culture that has, taken us over. We need to start the culture where we now hate this sort of things wholeheartedly. And we're content in our places, so that no matter what is, put before us, a bribe or, giving, we will ensure that the right thing is done. People, mothers, it is a shame for any mother to choose between one child over another because of the balance of wealth.
Terrible.
It is a shame.
That one is a whole different base topic.
I know to touch it before.
Let me take this message from Mr. George. He says the problem should be tackled from the top. Ensure that politicians do not earn more than double the salary of the highest paid civil servants. That's another angle. There are so many layers of this.
But I think that we can all conclude on the fact that if we have justice, fast justice, it would reduce the prevalence of this thing.
And that thing is role modeling. We need to model those who are working, those who are watching you, those who are watching me. We need to model that. I gave a testimony in December how we were finally able to get a house. But even me as a woman, I asked for a house, we got a house. And now I said, Ahoga, change my car. He's like, we just paid for a house. Take it easy. Let us all get a chair inside the house. You don't sleep on it. So I wanted it, but he had to remind me, take it easy. You can't get, this year, can't get a car. It's not possible.
Imagine if if your husband just comes out of nowhere, you know what he does, you know how much, all of a sudden he's just buying all sorts of stuff. Would you question it?
Aha, that's another
Would you question
You
it?
would.
You buy the car, you have the house, you buy everything.
Ma'am,
It's
And
my-
it's
for my
not
own- in my
reflecting, you know
house.
what we
I
do.
really
I've
sure.
always doubt. I used to doubt, you know, this sort of holier than thou thing because I say it and I insist on it. And my husband was talking to my own sister-in-law over the weekend and said, if the world I can get, Nima deserves I put it at her feet for what she's done and how she stood by me in my marriage. But she would not want it. She would hate it. Because I don't want to use things that I cannot sleep and rest.
You sleep and rest.
We
have to run. We have to run.
That told us once that even you wives, when your husbands bring some things, you should
question it.
And women were like, question it. Meanwhile, side chick will jump.
We run out of time, guys.
It's not the value.
We run out of time. You can sleep in a nice, beautiful house.
Yes, and you'll be okay.
Yes, afford it legitimately.
Yes,
just have a decent house.
You will get
decent.
That is all we can take on the show today.
Messages.